Hi everyone, Diana here again. So I am going to make today one of my favorite Thanksgiving things, and to me, like, this is Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving, I feel, is one of those things where it's all about tradition and passing on down things. This is my mom's recipe, which we got from the Betty Crocker, which I'm laying out here, but of course we've adapted it, and that's what we do. So, because of loving to share our recipes, I have my daughter here with me today. Say hi, Chef Ariel. So, we are gonna start with our stuffing. This is an apple bread stuffing, gluten-free of course. So first, we're gonna start with what you should always start with when you're cooking for Thanksgiving, and that's butter. So we're gonna put a lot of butter in here. Okay, we're actually putting a cup, and my pan is already hot. Ooh, it's very hot, as you can see. It's gonna take down. Okay. So we're just melting the butter, which is already kind of brown, which you don't need to happen for yours. It'll be fine. And it's cooling off. So the butter is a big part of stuffing and it adds a lot of flavor, but what it also does is we're gonna cook all our ingredients in the butter. When we cook all our ingredients in the butter, the flavor from those ingredients goes into the butter, and then the butter is all over our bread, and that's what brings that good flavor all over our bread. So, and our stuffing. Ariel over here is patiently cutting the bread very well. She's cutting them into squares like this. You could even go somewhere a little smaller. In fact, I'll get her a bowl. Okay, so you have enough space, sweetie. We'll even put them in there for now.
No cracks.
Okay. Oh, look at all that butter. Okay. So what we're gonna put in there is this. Now, my sous chef here already chopped these all up for me. This is an onion, an apple, and some celery. So we'll cut to her video that she did earlier today. As you can see, she did a really good job in how easy it is throwing the food processor. A lot less tears shed over onions. And I chopped it. This got more like applesauce consistency, which is not what you want. You want to be able to see the little bits of apple and onion in there. But we had a little too much fun pulsing it. So then once your butter is melted, you're just going to dump this all in. It's smelling good. This is salted butter, which I don't usually use. So right now I'm not going to salt it. Normally I would throw some salt in there if this was not salted butter. And I recommend doing not salted butter because you have control over the salt. She doesn't want the crust. So in our recipe that calls for about 9 cups loosely packed of bread, we're just putting in my gluten-free bread. And if you have store-bought bread like this, it's actually kind of, if it's moist or if it's from the freezer, you're going to want it to dry out a little bit because you're going to want it to be able to soak up all this yummy butter flavor.
Yeah,
but we're using some of my homemade bread, which I have my recipe on here. So it's thicker, heartier, and we'll let it sit out a little bit and it's dried out enough. It'll be ready to go. You're doing a great job, sweetie. You can leave the crust on now. Okay. Now it's time for one of the most important ingredients. This is our fresh herbs. I have sage, but you only need about a tablespoon of sage. I think I have 2 here because I go a little crazy. And then about a tablespoon of thyme. Again, my darling daughter helped do this for me. So I'm gonna put that another minute. So sage does fantastic when cooked in fats. It really helps bring out the flavor and it does so good. But these flavors, to me, the turkey and sage, that's Thanksgiving. I love it. Oh, can you smell it, Ariel? Yep. Doesn't that smell good?
I have a stuffy nose.
Oh, your nose is stuffy. Aw, that's so good.
Okay, now it's smelling it. I'm gonna cry.
You guys gotta, the onions are making you cry. You guys need to see this. Yum. See what that looks like? Now again, I cut it up a little too small, but it's still gonna be fine. But that's what it's looking like right now, and we're gonna let that cook up a little bit so those herbs can really get in there. It tastes yummy. So this recipe, a couple things that set it apart are the fresh herbs, and then it has apple in that. That adds a little sweetness and a little juice to it, although we cook off some of that. But it adds a nice contrast into that. And again, I cut it too small, but it'll taste fine. But you want to have some chunks of apple with some of the bread, and it tastes really good. It doesn't really matter what apple, you have a preference, you go with what you want. I usually do some kind of red one because that's usually what I have. But again, it's not a deal breaker at all. And a lot of times, y'all, when you're doing recipes, don't worry too much about all the little details. You know, it's okay if it's a little, not exactly perfect. As my mom says, I consider recipes suggestions or guidelines more than strict rules. So whatever I do, I like to give you options of different ways to go with it because it depends what you have on hand. Don't not make it because you're missing one thing. Learn how to substitute or just go without it. Be flexible. And that's how you learn, because then when you make it and you're like, this didn't taste the same, you learn what was important about it. Okay, Ariel cut up all our bread for us. We've got roughly 9 cups in here. Probably could have a little more, but it's fine. So then all we're gonna do is take this, and I'm gonna put a little bit of stock here to loosen it up a little bit. Probably about 1/4 a cup. And I always add more if I need to later, depending how much moisture I want. So then we're just gonna dump this all on my bread. That's off, okay. Okay, Ariel. Yeah, okay, put it down, now I'm clean. And then you're just gonna combine this. You could throw the bread in the pan too. Okay. So, yay, it looks great. So once everything's covered and moist here, then it's ready to go in the oven. You can do it like right now and then put it in. I'm gonna usually do it like the day before and then have it all ready to go, and that's gonna give you more time for the flavors to meld. So we're gonna go ahead and cook this and we'll show you what it looks like. Okay, the stuffing is done. And of course, a done stuffing has to be kind of brown, maybe almost black on the top so it's crunchy and then soft underneath, which is what we have here. It's great, right? These casserole dishes are perfect for these. So no, I don't stuff mine in the turkey. It's not the safest thing. I don't even think it gets the best flavor because you want to get that yummy, crunchy stuff on top. And you don't need it because you just add gravy, because your gravy is going to have all that great flavor. So, woohoo! See? This is very hearty, yummy, right there. And it smells like Thanksgiving. And then I'm just going to pour a little bit of my gravy on top, right? You all put gravy on your stuffing, right? I mean, how can you not? Then you've just got a burst of flavor. So, of course, I gotta try this. Yeah, I don't think I would really notice that this wasn't gluten-free because of getting that hearty bread. But you want it dry so it soaks it up. It's really good. I might just sit here and eat all of this. I don't know, are any of you also addicted to stuffing? I think I only have it like once or twice a year, and it's one of my favorite dishes. It just is such a concentrated bit of flavor. Of course, though, I'm missing my peas, my corn, my turkey, and everything, but that will come soon. So I hope this video was helpful for you all. Please like, comment, subscribe. I think there's a bell you can press if you want. But I just having a lot of fun doing these videos with you guys. So thank you, friends. Have a wonderful day and enjoy your gluten-free yummies. Wasn't me.
Oh, hi, me. Hi, was it me? How are you doing with it, me?
Oh, I hate when my head gets cut off. Don't you hate when your head's cut off?
It isn't.
No, it isn't. But wouldn't you hate it if it was?
Then why are you talking about it?
Because it does get cut off sometimes. Oh yeah, I'm already on.